Today I'm going to walk you through how to set up your paper in MLA format and how to format an outline. First thing you want to do is open up a Microsoft Word document. You can see on the screen that I've got one open for you. After the document's open, you want to check and make sure that all of the MLA settings are correct. So let's check our margins first. You want to click on this ruler up here. If you don't see a ruler, to get a ruler, you can click on the View tab, and the Print Layout option should allow you to see the ruler, or make sure this is checked here. So I'm going to click on the ruler, double click, and then I'll get this dialog box here. Notice that all of my margins, top, left, bottom, and right, are set at 1 inch. I want to make that my default setting, so every time I open up a document in Microsoft Word, it's going to go to the 1 inch margin. Now I'm going to go back to the home page. Next thing I want to change is my font. Our font needs to be Times New Roman, so I'm going to click on Times New Roman, and it needs to be 12-point font, so I'm going to make it 12 point. If I want to make that my default, which is not a bad idea, I simply click on this little arrow down here in the font window, and I will get a dialog box, and you can see that you can make that your default as well. Okay, last thing I want to do is I want to make sure that my document is double spaced. So to do that, I'm going to click on this paragraph arrow, and I'll get this dialog box. Down here where it says line spacing, I want to change it so it says double. Now that's not all you have to do. If you've ever typed a document and you've noticed that you have like extra white spaces between your paragraphs, it's because you didn't click this little box right here. Click this little box, and this will make sure that the whole entire document is double spaced and you have no extra spaces in your paper. You're going to click OK. You can set that as your default if you want. That will mean every document you open has the double spacing. I'm going to click OK. From here, I want to think about how long my document might be. If I look at the written copy of my notes and it looks like it's going to be longer than 1 page, I might want to go ahead and set up my header, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. A header in MLA style is a 1/2 inch down. It's going to be on the right hand margin. To do that, we go to Insert, and we're going to click the page number box, and I want my page to be at the top. Because I want it to be all the way at the right hand margin, I'm going to click plain number 3, because you see it's all the way at the right. Now I've got that up there. I want to make sure that it's Times New Roman 12 point. It's done because I set that as my default. Now you want to put your last name here. So I'm going to put a space, so there's a space between my last name and the number. Now my last name is Pocus. You all know that. Your last name is not Pocus, so I don't want to see a bunch of papers that say Pocus at the top. Put whatever your last name is at the top. Then it's going to put the page number, and for each page number after, it will number. Okay, we've got that all set. Now I'm going to click back here into the paper, and you see that's a little lighter shade of gray. I'm going to type my name, and I'm not going to try and confuse you. I'm going to just write first, last. That's my first name and my last name. Now the next thing, Mrs. Pocus, because I'm your teacher. AP English. Whoops. Whatever period you are in, we'll say 3. Now if you're in 6th or 8th period, make sure you put 6 or 8. Then you're going to put the date, and you're going to do it by putting the day of the month, then the month name, then the year. No commas at all. Another enter, and then you're going to put the assignment name. This is Chapter 3 Notes. Okay, we've got our heading. hit enter again. There's no need to hit another enter and have a bunch of extra white space. Not needed. Now, to do an outline, we might have a title of an outline. Well, Chapter 3 has a title. It's called Writing Essays. So we're going to title our outline Writing Essays. Notice I clicked up here in the paragraph box, the center button, because I'm going to center the text for the title, and I'm going to type Writing Essays. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm not going to bold, underline, italicize, put in quotation marks, nothing, just the title. I'm going to hit enter again, and then I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to align my text to the left. All right, now the first part of an outline, we use a capital letter I. Now you notice when I hit enter, it kind of moved the text around, or it moved it. It's not where it's supposed to be. That's because Microsoft Word just does it. And I can't tell you why, but I can show you how to fix it. So I'm going to go up here to the ruler, and I'm going to move that one back over here to the edge, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to move it back over here. And then it's going to move up here. It does it. I don't know why. Now, so you might have to fight with Microsoft Word a little bit. Trust me, it will be worth it. Okay, so the first part of Chapter 3 talks about essay development. And as I'm looking through the first part of this, I think about what I might like to title the first portion. And it's easy, if you just skim Chapter 3, you see that it's already kind of divided into sections for you. So essay development might be a good way to title this. Now you see, after I hit enter, it automatically goes to number 2, essay development, after essay development. But I want to include some more information. So I'm going to hit my backspace button, and now after I have Roman numerals, I go to capital letters. So I'm going to put a capital letter A, and then I'm going to put the second most important piece of information from that area. And as I'm looking at the first part, I notice that it talks about different types of essays. So I might title this Types of Essays. So the types of essays are, now I'm going to go to Egyptian numbers. The first type that I see here are reports. And then I might put something about reports here. It says that they present information. And tend to be persuasive. All right, the next type I notice are expository essays. And you get the, whoops, I spelled that incorrectly. You get the hang of it. Next thing I might put some information there. The third type, argumentative. And then I'm going to put some other information. Now, I have an A, so I can't not have a B. And notice when I type a B, it automatically formats it for me. So the next part of this chapter that I feel is important are the pre-writing. Oops. So pre-writing strategies and so on and so forth. What's really important and what you really need to take away from this is if you have a Roman numeral 1, I need to see at least a Roman numeral 2. You can go 3, 4, etc., etc. If I have an A, I need a B. If I have a 1, I need a 2. Can leave nothing hanging out there by itself. So you continue creating your outline in this way. This is going to show me a couple of things. It's going to show me that you know how to set up a paper in MLA format, And it's also going to show me that you can categorize information, put it into categories, and you can delineate which is more important. The bigger things are more important things than the smaller things. Your textbooks are kind of organized this way for you already, so it shouldn't be that difficult. I am thinking that your outline is probably going to be about 2 pages typed, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. If you get up to 3 or 4 pages, you're probably including too much information. Remember, an outline is a short way to capture the information that makes it easy for you to study. One thing I want to point out, and I want to make sure that you know needs to be in your notes. You need to know what this chapter says about thesis statements, and you need to know the difference between deduction and induction. Those things are outlined for you in this chapter. Make sure it's in your notes.